Hello, Prince Albert. How can I help you?
Hello there. I wonder if you could help me. I've been told that if I come to the pub, I've got to bring some identification or anything like that. What do I need?
No, I don't know who's told you that. Only if you look under 21.
Oh, so I don't have to sign in or?
You've got to sign in. It's just basically a notepad, which will take your name, address, and contact number if you haven't been in before. And if you have been in before, it's just literally your name we need. It's just for the government's check and trace.
Oh, so if I came in yesterday, for argument's sake, and I'd already registered, I'd just have to give what?
It would just be your name.
Oh,
the
right,
first time you ever come in, it's literally all your details. It's your name, your address, and a contact number. Any other occasion after that, it's just literally your name we need.
Okay. And would I need any sort of documentation to back up what?
No.
No. Okay.
No, it's only for the government guidance for us to open up.
That's the contact tracing stuff, is it?
Yeah.
Right.
If a patient or member of staff supposedly comes down with it and becomes ill, we can then contact everyone who was in it on that day. Okay.
And just one other thing. Who's in charge of GDPR compliance within the pub?
I ain't got a clue to be honest, mate. I'm just a barman.
Oh, right. Is it possible? Could I speak to the manager, maybe?
Yeah. Hello?
Hello, sorry to bother you. Is that the manager?
Yeah.
Hiya, my name's James Russell. I'm an independent journalist, and we're just trying to go through different sectors like restaurants, pubs, bars, this, that and the other, to find out if everyone's doing the same thing, because it seems there's loads of discrepancies about how people are being recorded when they come in and out of pubs or clubs or restaurants or...
I do agree, because I've been out myself to have a look how other places are doing, and I agree with that.
Yeah. So it was just a quick call. I didn't want to bother you because I'm sure you're very busy. Have you been trained in any GDPR compliance?
What we've been doing, when people come in, I don't even know what the GDPR is, to be honest. But when people come in, we get them to sign in, their name, address, phone number. We have sanitizers on the walls. We have a one-way system where people come in the front door. We have a side door where they go out, and then if they want to come back in, they have to come back again from the front door. What else? We put up screens in the bar, so when people are ordering drinks, both the staff behind the bar and the customers that are ordering the drinks are relatively safe as much as possible. So, yeah.
Okay, that's excellent, but I think that's more compliance with the COVID regulations, isn't it?
Right, and what is the GDPR?
GDPR compliance is about how you hold and store people's data and who you share it with.
Oh, I see. Okay, that is something that we do take. We do take a look at that really carefully, and as soon as people sign in, we never leave the book in the bar. As soon as people sign in, we put it back, and that's it. That's the only thing we're doing at the moment.
Okay, and. So, for argument's sake, which part of the government, or is it the police, who say somebody comes down with COVID in your pub, and who comes to inspect the register?
Not sure, to be honest. You know what? I think it would be better if you ring the owner to ask about that.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm not sure, to be honest.
Okay. So if I come in tomorrow, is my identification just taken down on paper, or is it logged onto a computer, or?
No, at the moment it's taken down on paper.
Just on paper?
Yeah, which I think, to be fair, I think is a lot safer, because I've been to a place last week where they do it, you have to log in when you come in with your smartphone, and I think there's all sorts of ways that people can hack into it. There's ways that they can use that data to send you notifications that you don't really want. Here we keep it strictly for in case one of our patrons gets ill. That's the only reason we keep the information. no other reason like send promotions or things like that. We don't do that at all. So in terms of keeping the information safe and confidential, we try to do as much as possible. As soon as people sign in, like I said, we keep the book behind the bar. That's it. But I think any more information, you would need to speak with the owner.
Yeah. Okay. So if I was to come in, for argument's sake, and you gave me the book, do I just sign underneath the last person that signed in?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I would then be able to see somebody else's confidential information.
No, because you would see the last person that signed in, but well, I suppose because you would put your personal information on a page and then sign in on the day you come in.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
So everybody that signed in on the same day of me would be just above me in the list, if you like.
Yes, I suppose so. Yeah.
Okay, and so this is where there might be a problem, because if I come in and 10 people signed in before me and I sign in underneath them,
yeah,
I can then see their personal information, which under GDPR regulations is illegal and it leaves you liable.
Okay, I understand that. That's a way. I'm sure we can change that.
I think the best way to do it is to do one form per person. So every time somebody comes in, you give them a little form, they fill in their information, you put that to one side. When the next person comes in, you give them a blank form so they can't see the previous person's information.
Okay.
Because you need to let your manager know, or the owner know, because if he shares somebody else's information without their consent, he's liable under GDPR compliance and he can be sued.
Okay, let me just...
So that's why we're just doing this phone call check on everyone in the area to make sure that they understand the compliance and the regulations, because it seems that the government has issued guidance, but they didn't tell you about the legalities of what you're doing.
Yeah, and to be fair, I always thought myself that was an issue, but there's so much confusion with this that, some people tell you that what you're doing is enough, others tell you that what you're doing is too much. I had someone from environmental health coming in the other day. I was wearing a mask in the kitchen. She asked me, why are you wearing a mask? You don't have to wear a mask. So there's so much contradictory information that we don't know ourselves. That's why I'm saying, it's better if you speak to the owner about it.
Sorry, what was your name? My name's James. I didn't mean to be rude. I didn't introduce myself. James.
Oh, James. Okay, James. My name is Joe Rodriguez.
Okay. Joe, it's not. I can understand the contradictory advice, and I agree it's really, really difficult for you guys to someone says you have to wear a mask, you don't have to wear a mask, you have to walk this way, you have to walk that way, and all this nonsense. Do you know what I mean? I understand that. All I'm saying is, if I come into your pub and sign the form, and above the form is the 10... Sorry?
You don't want the next person to see your name, address, and phone number.
I think that's the problem, because if I come in and sign the form, and I can see everybody else's name above that who came in before me, then
I agree with
then your boss needs to know that that's an offence under GDPR regulations. You cannot share anybody's personal information with a third party without their consent. So what you really need to do is have one small little form, and each person that comes in fills it in, and you put it to one side. And the next person comes in, gets a blank form, and they don't see the previous person's information.
Okay.
Otherwise, it is a GDPR compliance violation, and your boss can be liable to be sued for up to £1,500 per every time it's done.
Okay. All right, James. I take all that on board, and I will take steps from tomorrow morning, because we are going to close soon tonight. From tomorrow morning, we will have these steps on board. We open at 12 o'clock. You're welcome to come in and check. We will take these steps to make sure that we're compliant, because obviously we don't have any problems. and I do appreciate the information, because I didn't know myself. So I really do appreciate the information. I take it on board, and we will implement it from tomorrow when we open.
So you open at 12, or do you stop halfway through the day, or do you open all day?
No, we open all day, yeah.
From 12 o'clock. Okay, well, I'll try and pop in and see you tomorrow, Joe, if I can.
Okay. We stop food 3 till 6, but the pub is open all day.
Okay then, brilliant, Joe.
Okay.
Well, I just thought I'd inform you, because a lot of people don't know, so I thought it's best you're informed and you understand it. And
you work for?
I am an independent journalist, but I work for several different subsidiaries.
Okay.
So, but there was a discrepancy there, because I've been to a few places and I didn't take my camera with me, so I couldn't film it. And they were just giving me a piece of paper, and I couldn't believe that they had, the previous 15 customers that had just been in the place, and all their personal information, their names, their addresses, their telephone numbers, were all in front of me, and I could have easily photographed all of that without, the pub even knowing that I'd photographed it.
I agree completely, and that's why I told you in the beginning of our conversation. I say we here always take the step. As soon as somebody signs the book, we close it and put it next to the till.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, just be careful.
Yeah. They could still read the information. There's people that can memorize the whole page.
Yeah.
So I agree completely, and we will take steps to address that.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best thing, just to protect yourself and the owner as well, because obviously, if every one of those people knew what the GDPR regulations were, each one of those people can sue the owner of the business at £1,500 a time. That's 10 people. That's a lot of money.
It is, yeah. Well, I was going to ask you about CCTV, but CCTV is something completely different, because we do have a sign saying that we have CCTV and that. So, I was getting confused with CCTV, but that is something else completely.
Well, CCTV is anywhere that's open to the public, people can film. So people in your pub can take photographs while they're having a drink, or take a picture of their food or whatever. So that's fine. But the point is, whether I do it overtly or covertly, if I came into your pub and photographed that list of people, you would be liable for sharing their information with me. And that's a problem. And that's a problem that a lot of people don't understand.
No, and I didn't personally. I don't know if the owners did, but...
No, I'm purely doing this for an educational thing, because I want you to understand that that's the case.
And I appreciate it completely, because like I said, we do take steps to keep the book as close to the till as possible all the time, but there's nothing stopping people having a look while they're signing in at the moment. So,
yeah, exactly.
You're absolutely right.
So maybe a separate sheet for each customer, and then that way you avoid the problem.
Yeah. All right, James. You're welcome to pop in tomorrow.
I'll do my level best, Joe, because you've been very, very cordial and kind, and thank you for your response.
No, I mean, thank you, because ignorance is not an excuse. And I was completely ignorant of the fact that not completely ignorant, but I didn't know the seriousness of it.
Yeah, it is quite serious, because whoever collects the data is responsible for the privacy of that person's information.
Yeah.
Whether you're a business, a corporation, a government, or a town hall, or whatever.
Yeah.
So, for argument's sake, if I went into a town hall and was filming, and they left your council tax bill on the side, and I could film it, effectively that town council has shared your information with me without your consent, and they are liable, and you can sue them for it.
Yeah.
And you don't even need a solicitor to do that. You can just write out a GDPR complaint and send it to them.
All right, James. So if you want to come in tomorrow, you're welcome to. If you could give us a call, if you do coming in, if you could give me a call to make sure that I would like the owner to be here as well.
Yeah, that's no problem. Yeah, no problem at all.
If you could give us a call, I don't know, half an hour before or something, that would be fantastic.
Yeah, no problem, Joe. I'll do that tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks for your time, Joe. Sorry to bother you.
Thanks for the information. No problem. Thank you.
No, it's all right. You're welcome.
Thanks. Bye.
Ciao, ciao. Well, that was pretty fucking... I wasn't expecting that, but there you go. That was pretty receptive. So, we'll maybe pop in and see Joe tomorrow. Have a nice look at my tea towel here. Ooh, look at that, sexy tea towel. Right, we're going to do a few more like that because GDPR is an issue with this whole name-taking in pubs and restaurants and this, that and the other. So we'll probably do a little investigation in this. This is actually inspired by another YouTube channel who's been banned from YouTube called Press for Truth, and that's Dan Dix at Press for Truth, and you can find him on BitChute. And yeah, I'll pop this video up and we'll carry on with this little investigation into this, because it's interesting that the government wants to impose the mandatory collection of people's personal data by private companies that don't understand what GDPR is, because the government doesn't give a shit because they're not liable. It's the people who collect the information, i.e. the pubs, bars and restaurants, that are going to be liable if they share that information with a third party without that person's consent. So basically, if I go in and film the list when I sign it myself, they've violated GDPR regulations, and as you heard in that phone call, they don't realise they've done it. Okay, well, maybe this is part one of many, but anyway, thanks for your time, thanks for watching the video, and I'll speak to you all soon. Take care, guys.